Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. And today we're going to be talking about Temu. I ordered these anodized aluminum crochet hooks on Temu, and we're going to compare them to the Furls hooks. So stay tuned. Now, I know there's a lot of discussion about Temu. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it a hype? Is it a whatever? I'm not going to get into that here on this channel, on this episode. I did recently see my friend over at Juan the Yarn Addict, and he was reviewing these crochet hooks. And I was like, all right, if you're comparing them to Furls, I got to give them a try. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I've got my Furl hooks here, all of my beauties. Actually, I've got a little bit more, but these are the ones that I don't have duplicates of. So we're going to be comparing these. I even have a scale. We're going to see if there's a difference in size. So I got these from Temu. Apparently, you can also find them on Amazon. I'm going to look them up on Amazon, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in the notes as well. So if you're just not comfortable with Temu, at least you'll have an option if you decide you want to go for these. So they come in a plastic bag like this. And it just says... doesn't even tell you what they are, but I do know on the order form that it was the sweater, they call them sweater needle integrated hand polishing aluminum crochet hooks. All right, so they come in a nice case like this, and there's a little, so that's actually kind of nice, and it's my signature color, rose gold. It's got a little plastic protector, so I'll go ahead and take this little guy off. That's nice. All right, it's heavy, I have to say that for sure. Nice zippered pouch. The zipper seems to work pretty good. Zippers are always a thing for me. If your zipper doesn't work, that's not good. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. So they come and they look like this. We go from size 3.5 all the way up to a size 8. All right, so let's try these out. Now, I don't have all these sizes in my Furls hooks. All right, so I'm gonna lay out my Furls over here. I'm gonna lay these out. One thing that I do like, okay, first of all, I like they're tucked in a little bit of elastic, which is great. You do get the 3.5, which is, you can get this in the Furls, but they are harder to find because only in the aluminum or wood can you find these. You can't find these in resin. And you can't find these in plastic because the integrity of the shaft and the neck would be compromised because it's too thin and they would snap. So we start with a 3.5, and they're all going to be about the same. Let's see if I can find my 3.5. That's a 3.75. This might be my 3.5. Okay, so this is my 3.5. So this is going to match up with my E hook. Now, first what I'm going to do is measure the size. So you can see me doing that here. The neck or the length of the hook on the 3.5, the Temu hook is slightly longer. You can see that. Slightly longer. They feel about the same weight, and the grip is about the same. So let's take a look. Let's weigh them first and just see. So the Temu hook comes in 1.8 ounces. 1.8 ounces. Let's go ahead and weigh the Furls hook. 1.7. Slightly different, but pretty marginal. But still, that's something to be considered about. So the Furls is going to be marginally lighter. Let's try it with the yarn and see what we think. For the 3.5, I'm going to start with the weight of a 3 yarn. Let's just give it a try. So I'm going to start with my Furls hook. Now, a lot of people say that they don't like, if you are a pencil grip holder, this may not work for you. I am not a pencil grip person. Seems like it would work okay, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's because of where it sits. I'm actually a knife holder, so this ergonomic aluminum hook works really well for me because it sits right in the palm of my hand. So we know we love the Furls. Works really well, slides very easily through the hook or through the yarn. Let's go ahead and switch out now to my 3.5 Temu hook. So the furls that I grabbed was the anodized, the brush, so it's a little bit rougher. These are all smooth. These are all smooth hooks. There's no brushed in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck into that. Let's just do a little double crochet, see how it works. So far it feels just like or just as good as the furls. I'm able to grab the yarn just as easily, so I'll look at the neck and the shaft here in a second, but right now it feels about the same. Feels pretty good. One thing I have noticed is I will see something on Amazon and I will see the exact same thing on Temu a lot less. But if you're not comfortable shopping on Temu, and I know a lot of people aren't, you can find, for a little bit more, you can find pretty much the same products on Amazon. Temu, as I understand it, and I am gonna just, my disclaimer right here is I am not an expert with Temu, but what it seems is that there are several different sellers of oftentimes the same product on Temu. It's almost like a marketplace. And so you can usually find, not always, not with all the products, but oftentimes I have found the same item on sale at 2 different prices on Temu. So as I said, it appears to be a marketplace. All right, so that is my double. So the stitches are pretty uniform. Looks pretty good, feels really nice. Let's talk about the hook head. So I'm running my thumb over both of them. They feel about the same to me, a little bit sharp at the tip. One had commented, he thought they seemed that the Temu one seemed a little bit sharper, but that hasn't been my experience. Maybe he had a different set. The top of the head feels about the same. The head on the furls is, you can see here, smaller, and I wouldn't say slightly, I'd say a pretty decent amount smaller than the Temu hook. The Temu hook has a bigger head, and the throat looks to be a little bit bigger as well on the Temu hook. You can see that. I'll actually hold it up like this. You can see that the head of the Temu hook, the blue one, is larger than the furls hook, and the throat is deeper. But like I said, it feels the same on both. All right, I like that it comes in a carrying case. This is great. Let's try, the next one is a 4.0. Let's see if I have a 4.0 in the furls. I have a 4.5. Here's a 6 and a 6.5. Well, let's just go same. So let's go 4.5 to 4.5. Although the 4 feels really good. It doesn't feel sharp to me. It's not sharp under here. It's a little sharp on the side, the shaft, right in here, but only on that side. It feels a little bit sharp to me, but that could just be in the manufacturing of it. All right, so we'll put the 3.5 or the 3.75 over. We've got the 4.5. I like the color. The color's beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? That's beautiful. And let's pick up. Now, the one thing it doesn't have is the letters, which is probably fine because, and this is just my understanding, that the US are the ones who use the letters, that the universal numbers, for instance, maybe that's not an always, but the number is the universal sign for the crochet hook. So here we've got 2 4.5s. So let's measure them again. So again, the Temu is longer and taller than the furls hook. You can see there. The furls is the red and the Temu is the purple. The head of the Temu is definitely bigger than my furls. And the neck looks to be a little bit bigger as well. And then the throat is a little deeper. It doesn't feel any sharper to me than the furls. So that's pretty good. Let's try this out. So we're going to go ahead and try this one out. I have to say, at this point, I'm pretty impressed with them. So let's talk about price. The Furls hooks come in at $26 a piece per hook. And sometimes they have sales, but that is the price, whether you're going with the brushed, the limited edition, the polished, any of the colors. The Temu hooks, this entire set, this whole thing, including the case, comes in at, I got it for $43.31. I don't know what the cost is on Amazon, but I will include the link side by side so you can compare the two. So right now, this is actually feeling just as good to me. It's sliding through the yarn really well, not splitting. It feels like it's got some really good durability. The weight is feeling just the same to me. I'll weigh it again just because that's a little bit of an interesting, like I said, 1.7 to 1.8 ounces, I think is what it was. It's not going to be a deal breaker, but some people say that the Furls hooks are a little too heavy for them, or they like the weight. So those stitches are nice and uniform. There's no snagging. There's no splitting of the yarn. I'm liking these. Let's try the weight again. So let's go ahead and whip out our scale. And because these things were rolling, I'm just going to use this, but I'm going to zero it out. Stop it. So we're going to zero that out. So we're not going to take into account. This is a Temu hook. This is a 1.8 ounce hook in weight. And the Furls is, now that comes in at 1.8 as well. So the Furls is exactly the same weight as the Temu hook. Don't know what happened with the 3.75s, but these two are coming in exactly the same. So we can't even use that as an excuse. All right, let's see what other ones we've got. So let's go with some of the bigger, the weightier ones. I do like that they come in a case like this, which is really nice. And then there's another little area, little pocket over here that you could put your, notions or whatever. It seems to have really good construction. I'm looking here, it's got some really nice stitching along the sides, so I don't see that this is going to come apart. It's not glued, it's actually stitched all the way across. That's really nice. These look to be very sturdy, the elastic bands that are holding the hooks in place, and the zipper seems to have some really good weight to it. So my largest Furls hook is a 6.5, so let's bring it out over here. So this couple, by the way, let's just look at this. It gives us a 3.5, a 4.0. It gives us a 4.5, a 5.0, a 5.5, a 6.0, a 6.5, a 7, and an 8. So basically your standard sizes are all listed right here. The number is actually engraved on here. It's not just like stamped on. So if I were to scratch it, it doesn't look like it's going to scratch off. So that's good to know as well. So I said we're going to look at the 6.5, right? I have to say, I do like that you can see the numbers. On the Furls, my only complaint with them is sometimes it's hard to read what the number is, unless you get like the black anodized, which it's lovely. So these are nice and easy to read. All right. Let's go ahead and give this one a try. Well, it's not the right yarn, but let's just do it for snicks, shall we? All right, I would use a heavier yarn, but let's just try this out. So I'm just doing just a nice easy double crochet just to feel it out. Again, it's feeling really nice, giving me good stitch definition. And the stitches are the same. Using a green yarn and a green hook. I don't think I've ever done that before. That's about as color coordinated as I think I might get here. So again, if you are a pencil grip person, these may not work for you, but maybe the ergonomic hook isn't going to work for you. Anyway, some people say it's fine. Some people, no. This to me is so awkward. I don't know that I could do this. Takes a little bit of practice. But with a knife, I'm not having a problem with at all. I really love the Furls hooks. The aluminum, So in love with these. I do find that different hooks I have a better time with in different materials. So if I'm doing, you know, like a thin acrylic or even just a thin yarn, sometimes even my O-Fires, which I love, the resin don't necessarily work that well for me. Conversely, sometimes like the dot hooks, crochet.com, the dot hooks work really well for me. And then sometimes with a thicker yarn. So it just really kind of depends what hook feels the best, what's gliding through the yarn, and what's giving you the best joy. This is still feeling really good to me though. I'm very pleasantly surprised with the way these hooks are working. They're really nice. Okay. So again, let's feel the head. It's, you know, it's a little sharp in the throat, but honestly, it's not any sharper. It's truly not any sharper than the Furls. It isn't. Let's look at the height again. That one is marginally larger, the Temu in the dark green, but not as much. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it's as much of a difference as the other one, which is a little bit weird because I think they're all the same size. Yeah, they all are the same size in here. So maybe they are the same. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe it just looked different to me. All right, so we're looking at, you know what I said, slightly different. Let's look at the hooks. Let's look at the heads together. So the head of the, and you can really see it here, the head on the Temu hook, the dark green one, much deeper, much wider throat, if you will, and much deeper than on the Furls. You can really see the difference there between the two. And so I don't know what that tells me is maybe I could grab more yarn, a thicker yarn, a bulkier, which you're going to be using with the 6.5 anyways. I don't have a problem with the Furls, but it is definitely considerably deeper in the throat. You can see that for sure. All right. So all in all, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with these guys. The company, it just says, is Nice Met. Doesn't matter. It's heavy. This case is very heavy. So the zipper works very nicely all the way around. I love that it's in rose gold because that's my color. The stitching is really nice. You can see it goes all the way around. The stitches are very even. It looks really, really well made. I'm very impressed. This was probably the most expensive purchase that I've ever made on Temu, coming in at $43. I'm just curious. Let's just weigh the whole entire set. All right, so this whole set, including the case and all the hooks, is weighing in at 1 pound, 9.1 ounces. Well, if you're curious, these are out there. And now I will tell you, shipping from Temu in general, don't hold your breath. It takes a long time. I've never had any problems with Temu. I haven't. And I haven't talked about it on this channel, but I have placed several orders, at least probably 4 or 5 orders with Temu, and I've never had a problem. Never had a problem with delivery or product. I like the quality of the product. I like the quality of these. The shipping does take a little bit of time. I think it took about 2 weeks, which, you know, that's okay. It's coming from a different country, far, far away. Yeah, so there you go. That is my comparison of the, we'll just call them the Temu crochet hooks. Come in a set like this. $43.31. I don't know what they are on Amazon. I'm thinking they're probably going to be a little bit more expensive because Amazon just is more expensive than Temu. But comparing them against my Furls hooks, which come in at $26 a piece, oops, that's a big difference. I love my Furls hooks. Absolutely love them. They do have the letter. These don't have the letters. They come in weighing the same. The necks and things are a little bit different. So I'm still in love with Furls, but I'm very impressed with these Temu anodized or these Temu aluminum hooks. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing and share us with a friend. So we love to have more friends around here. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.